Welcome back everyone to another video. Today we're looking at the whole news drama that's been going around, and we're going to be covering a lot of this over on Tuesday as well. But hopefully you'll enjoy the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. Hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. We are aiming for 7,250 subs. Let's see if we can get it 10,000 by the end of the year. So what's happening here is really weird, but it is factual at the same time. So there is no lie here. But for someone to come out and make this statement seems a little weird. Now, full disclosure, where I personally work, which I'm not going to disclose, but where I work, I actually worked on Helldivers to social promotions, right? And we worked on banner work, and I did see some of it out and about on websites, and they were about and they were there, but nothing impactful, nothing in your face, especially in this day and age where everyone uses an ad blocker. You're just not going to see the banners, and that is one of the reasons why banners themselves have just gone out the window. You've got those like kind of like playing GIFs or playing videos, people using ad blockers, just none of that is relevant anymore. So there's a method to the madness, as they say, as to why companies aren't investing in marketing as much as they used to. But the reality is, when you do it right, when you do it flamboyantly, especially like the way PlayStation does it with their God of War advertising, their Astrobot advertising, it does make a difference. It gets people talking, and it is out there and does create conversation, which then brings brand awareness and awareness to the game. Then people go check it out and go, oh my God, this actually looks great. Or, oh my God, I've got no interest in this. But you're hoping it's the former rather than the latter. And then that encourages them to go and invest more into the, what the game is. And if it's to their liking, they may actually want to pick the game up. Or even if they haven't got a console, maybe go and buy the console and the game at the same time, or buy the console now in preparation for the game. So marketing is very important, but at the same time, I do understand the diminishing returns, especially with the old school method of doing marketing, like banners, like email ads, like website takeovers, because ad blockers basically remove all of this. You don't see it. And this is why websites are trying to prevent you from doing that. Some of them are egregious with their ads, like say Forbes's website. It's so atrocious I can't even go there. At times it crashes my browser. So they actually go to another level. But then there's other websites that are more mundane and they have like a little bit there and you're okay with it and you don't mind. I guess they just need to find that balance. But what the EMEA marketing lead actually said is PlayStation is blessed with marketing funds that we're just not able to enjoy, says Xbox's EMEA marketing lead, who laments Microsoft's lack of investment. And Microsoft has reduced their marketing budget. Now, in the UK, at least from what I know personally, their investment within the UK branch of Microsoft has been absolutely minimal, to the point where their budget has almost been slashed entirely, which is why when we actually provided them with creative ideas for Hellblade 2 on what they could do, it all went out the window because there just wasn't the budget for it. So we had to go with something simple and banners, and that worked. But again, Microsoft is looking at this as the investment just isn't giving the ROI that they want. The old traditional method of investment in marketing isn't working. And in my opinion, it just doesn't work anyway anymore. We've moved past that point. It's not like 10 years ago where when you had a website takeover, it was everything was in your face regarding that game or that brand or that advert. It was there constantly subliminally being drilled into you. That's not the case anymore. It just isn't. And with ad blockers and ways to block ads entirely off your browser, you got Opera that basically just strips everything anyway. So there are so many different ways now to completely strip. It's a waste of money for for publishers to go out their way and deal with the traditional way of advertising. But then you've got the new modern way of advertising, which has those 3D screens in America and Tokyo where they just come out and it looks absolutely amazing. You had the whole Spider-Man ad, marketing with the whole web thing. You had Kratos' axe in London. You had the Astro Boy terminals and whatnot over, I think it was in New York at the time, not long ago, when they revealed the trailer for Astrobot, the new one. These are all flamboyant and really aggressive and very expensive advertising methods. But do you know what all of them have in common? Do you know what's the one single thing that all of the ones I just mentioned have in common? I still remember them to this day, and everyone else does too that was interested, that saw them, and they'll go, yeah, I remember that. Recently, Square Enix put an aetheryte at King's Cross for people to go on the release day of Final Fantasy 14. I think it was the day before, where you could go and take pictures with it, stand, and you had a whole crowd of people going out and touching it. My buddy Chille was there, and there's pictures and whatnot where he's reaching out. It's so awesome. I wish I could have went, but my mobility and health prevented me, which really sucks. But I would have actually wanted to go there because it's things like this that stay with you. You remember it, and that's the sort of marketing that's done right, but that comes with a heavy cost. And it just feels like Microsoft isn't interested in investing in that sort of marketing. That, or they simply just do not have the creative backbone to be able to come up with ideas like this in order to do it. One way or the other, I can't imagine it has to do with money, because money just simply isn't something that Microsoft generally is worried about. If they want to push all out for advertising, they can. And for the most part, with every other part of their business, the marketing isn't needed. They kind of do it themselves, right? The whole ethos on, Windows advertises itself, Office advertises itself, their cloud services advertise itself, unless we're talking about CloudBreak. But everything that they do in this regard advertises itself, and it's sufficient. You might see the odd ad here and the odd ad there, but they don't need to, because it's such a widespread thing. But with gaming and how short span these games and life cycles they have within people's attention span, you absolutely need to drill those big games through to people. Hellblade 2 really needed the marketing to give it a really good chance, and Microsoft failed in this. They failed hard. They just didn't push it far enough. They didn't push it at all, in my opinion. And like I said, the old school method of advertising and marketing just isn't it anymore. Not with the amount of ad blockers and ways that we have to prevent ads that we look at on a daily basis. YouTube has, YouTube Premium. Twitch has Twitch Turbo. This blocks ads entirely. So if you're paying for your ads on Twitch or YouTube, anyone that's on those services is never going to see them. You've got different versions of Twitch out there as applications, and YouTube, which also strip this. I know YouTube and Twitch are combating this daily, but they are still being blocked. So investing into that is also a very high risk with potential low reward, because you still have to be there to watch it. And if it's not showing when you're watching it, that's just like a wasted opportunity or a wasted amount of money that the publisher is paying. The only form of advertising and marketing right now, in my opinion, that actually works is those big, grandiose advertising campaigns. And if you're going to advertise something that's kind of, day one on Game Pass or something like that, having a few things here and there that just push it out regularly, even if it is like little adverts here, adverts there, it's fine, right? Do those social media posts. This is coming day one. Here's a trailer. Link it to the YouTube channel. Link it to your, Instagram, whatever. There are multiple ways you can actually get these smaller games out there without having to do flamboyant things. But for games like Halo and Gears and Forza, you need big production advertising. And it just looks like Microsoft isn't, interested in that sort of thing. And it's a shame, because we've seen it actually works with Sony pushing out all the bells and whistles. I'm remembering everything that I saw, but I can't remember one memorable, Xbox advertising campaign. In fact, that's a lie. The only memorable one I remember is the one that, actually lied. That is the Halo one. Halo 5, where they had that two versions of the Spartans fighting, with the chief getting shot, the black suited Spartan getting shot, and it almost made it look like you had a choice between the lot. And in the end, it was just a CGI choreographed fighting between them that lasted 7 seconds, and then that was it. And the whole cinematic around that situation never even existed. Maybe they ran out of money, a budget when they were making the game, who knows? But I still remember that to this day. That is good advertising. That was pushed so hard, which is good because I remember it, even if it is for the wrong reasons. It's still there in my memory. And that's what you want. So yes, you know, the standard old school way of doing advertising has had its budget slashed because the return of interest just isn't there. What Microsoft needs to do now is figure out and work with someone or a group or an agency that actually can provide this high level, high production marketing advertising for their big mammoth games like Doom, like Halo, like Gears, like Call of Duty, right? I'm talking super big games here, big franchises, and actually deliver a compelling marketing campaign that will stay in people's minds for a long time, which will in turn get them interested in the game, make them look up the actual software, look up what's actually cool about it, and if they like it, then look up where they can play it. And if it's on a platform that they already own, happy days. If it's not, actually get them to consider buying a platform where it is. This is how it works. But those big advertising campaigns, that's their sole purpose, and that is their return of interest. Banners, website takeovers, they're just a waste of money now. They're just not what it is. And as you saw with the Summer Games Fest, no one is paying $250,000 for a 30-second slot at Jeff Keighley's presentation. They'll just do it themselves. So even there, you're seeing that the exorbitant amount of money that they are asking for just is not worth the amount of time and eyeball retention that you're going to get on there, because it's just such a high risk, low reward return. Because half the stuff that was shown at the Summer Games Fest, I don't remember. In fact, I don't remember 95 or maybe even 99% of what was shown there. And that tells you everything. But those big grandiose campaigns like Halo 5 and the God of War, the Final Fantasy 14, the Astrobot, I remember those vividly. Well, Astrobot on 14, especially because it just happened. But the other ones, vividly. Because they were great to be a part of. They were great to experience, great to see. But that's my thoughts on this. You know, I think this has been completely taken out of proportion. Microsoft just needs to invest more. That's the bottom line. If they want to advertise, it's not going to come for free, and there is no magic wand. You need to get people's interest. And if you want your products to be selling in the European side of the world or the Far East side of the world, you need to invest heavily in marketing. That's it. You need to market your products correctly in the correct region. Otherwise, those that don't know can't buy. It's that simple. Still weird that the EMEA guy would totally come out and shit all over their boss like this, so I don't suspect he's going to have a job for long, but that's a discussion for another day. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, remain legend.